I don't even know what to say, man.
Yeah, where do you want to start?
I don't even know where to start, man. What a crazy week.
I know.
What a crazy world we live in, you know? Do you know what I'm talking about?
I do.
Holy man. Where do you even start?
I sit here and I just watch the news on my stolen internet cable and I just shake my head and pout.
Yeah.
And, melt.
What more can you do, right? Other than SMDH, right? As they say?
Yeah. DFKM.
What's that?
Don't fucking kill me.
Yeah. Well, hey, I also subscribe to that ideology. Please don't kill me.
Yeah.
Please don't kill me. I don't think this is a real threat, a valid threat, a tangible threat at all.
Okay.
But I've got a very funny story to tell you.
All right.
And this story intertwines everything we love in this, everything we want to talk about this crazy week.
Lay it on me.
The assassination of Charlie Kirk.
We're doing The Descent, by the way.
The Toronto International Film Festival.
Remember Neil Marshall's
The great
Descent?
Korean director Park Chan-wook. All of these things connect. Radical Canadian conservatives.
Spelunking.
All of this is related. All of this is related.
Crawlers, yeah.
That's actually not. They don't. That's a very offensive term, actually.
They don't. Crawlers isn't allowed anymore for the Appalachian
It's like when
people
are trying to create slurs for AI or for robots, and they call them clankers. I'm gonna have to censor that.
Clankers.
Yeah, you're
gonna have to censor that too.
I'm gonna have to censor clankers. Yeah.
Fuck, we're being so insensitive.
I know. I mean, jeez. Yeah. When people are making jokes about clankers, what I say to them is, would you call C-3PO a clanker?
Yes. Oh my god, I can think of another thing to call C-3PO too.
Yeah. Hey man, back off, okay? That's my buddy.
Him and that little garbage can.
Okay, what? Watch out, okay? Fucking take a step back, all right?
Or that round one, that soccer ball looking one from the sequel trilogy.
Yeah, you do want to kick him, right?
Oh my god.
BB-8?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's certainly kickable.
Kick him right into the Sarlacc pit.
Okay, all right. Easy there.
Lousy spherical clanker.
Easy there. Okay, you know what else? They might actually have to censor this because this is actually bad. You overhear a lot of conversations during TIFF, right?
Yeah.
And most of the time, well, it's, and I mean this literally, I hear this all the time. Most of the time it's something like somebody, two guys at the coffee shop Varda in TIFF or something, right? Or whoever, and one guy being like, and that's what a producer does. And not very many people know that. I'm serious. I heard somebody say that. I was like, oh my God, like, come on.
You should censor the word producer.
Yeah. No. This one, okay, so this is a slur that is very like old timey, and maybe I'll bleep it or something. But it was a guy explaining to his friend about the slur against like Italians.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And his friend was like, I didn't know that. And he's like, yeah, it's like the N word for Italians. And I was like, okay, funny conversation I'm overhearing. And then the guy explaining it was like, so when George Lucas named the planet Dagobah, and then that's all I heard. So I'm like, what is he possibly getting at?
I would have loved to hear the rest of that.
Yeah.
I mean, George Lucas has some questionable tendencies with some of his characters.
Oh, certainly.
Do I think the planet Dagobah was a dig at Italian immigrants? I don't know. Maybe. Actually, maybe.
Maybe. I don't know. But Yoda's not Italian.
It'd be better if he was.
Maybe. He doesn't speak backwards. He just has an Italian accent.
Or he speaks backwards with an Italian accent.
Either or. Yeah, maybe actually that sort of broken English.
Strong with the force you are, eh? That's like it's more like New Yorker guy.
Yeah, it's all the same thing. Yeah. Okay, so let's talk about the issue du jour. Although on this jour, it's several jours after, and probably anyone will give a shit, because when this happened, I felt like, oh my God, okay, the Nothing Ever Happened awards that they give out, have been canceled today, because this seems like somewhat of a significant event in American politics,
sure,
which Canadians are obsessed with. Just to clarify a little bit here, we recorded this like 2 days after it happened. So we didn't know anything about all that stupid FBI shit that would come out or whatever. So we're not going to talk about that. And also, like, yeah, I understand this is old news by now. By now, you know, and as we bring up in the previous episode on Spinal Tap 2, Charlie Kirk was killed like 500 years ago. It's millions of years old news. Just bear with us here. It's still a pretty funny story. But then after a few days, it seems like nobody really gives a shit anymore.
Well, that's how it goes these days.
That's how it goes,
you know?
right?
And,
yeah.
Like, and who was he really? Like, he wasn't a politician.
He's a podcaster.
He was a media guy.
Yeah,
he's in the reels where he's debating people, and he's like, well, actually, you know. And he was in the middle. He died doing what he loved.
It's true. He did.
He was in the middle of recording more of those fucking reels and takes where he's schooling liberal students.
Yeah.
And he got.
Yeah, yeah, it's fucking crazy. So it's been so funny to see the right's reaction, and one of the best clips from yesterday was Trump being asked about it, and they're like, "When did you find out?" And he's like, "Yeah, when I found out, it's a terrible thing. And when I found out I was building this great ballroom, really ornate, you know, great curtains." And he's just like on a whole other thing, right? Yeah. He's just like doesn't give a shit anymore. And everyone's like,
well, he had a stroke.
He also had a stroke. It's a big week. There's been a lot going on.
Huge week.
A lot going on. TIFF. So let me tell you the story of how I found out about Charlie Kirk. On Wednesday, September 10th, a day that would live in infamy, that was the other day I could go to TIFF. So I went to the talk with Park Chan-wook because I thought that might be interesting. And I was like, I like his movies, but then I watched a few of them and I was like, oh, I don't know. I like maybe half of them. We can talk about that on the roundup. But it was a good talk, right? So right before the lights went down, I opened up Twitter, and the very first thing I saw was this horrible, like, graphic video of Charlie Kirk getting shot in the neck and blood exploding out of his neck and him slumping over and dying. And I was like, what the fuck? Like, and at first I thought, okay, is this real? Like, it looks really real. You know, I've seen all that sort of stuff before back in the old watch people die days, you know? And I'm like, this seems really real, but I should probably try to verify this. I look and everyone's talking like, oh, he got shot. And I'm like, oh, is it real? And then the lights go down. And then for an hour and a half, I have to watch this talk, you know, which includes clips from very violent movies. And in the back of my mind, I'm sort of thinking like, was that real? Did I just make that up? And I couldn't really focus in the way I wanted to. It was a great talk, but at the very end, as soon as it was over, I looked at my phone again and was like, oh my God. And yeah, it was real. And you know, I don't know. I came into work the other day and all my coworkers, because they know me and they know what my politics are, they all looked at me like they're looking at Bart when it's like, say the line, Bart, you know? And they were asking, what's my take? And I was like, okay. And
what's your take?
Yeah, what's your take? Yeah, what's your take? I know, because it's...
His fucking throat got blown out.
Yeah, what do you mean, what's my take? Yeah. I think that what they meant was, like, how do you feel about it? So I gave them a very diplomatic, safe for work answer because my actual boss was there too. And I'm trying to, I don't want to be, I think they all think I'm some like crazy leftist radical and they're right. No. I didn't want to just give them some like black pilled response or some overly cruel, callous sort of thing. Like, you know,
sure.
So I'll sort of, and I think that's appropriate for the podcast too, because I've seen a lot of people celebrating this death, and certainly I think that's fine. I really don't really care that much because I have the absolute. It's like Mark Zuckerberg, right? He's like, I'll give you the absolute minimum amount of my attention that you deserve. I will give Charlie Kirk the absolute minimum amount of sympathy.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
I'm upset that because it is like, you know, I think it's genuinely harder to be like just kind of cruel about it if you see the video, because it's so...
it's pretty awful.
It's upsetting.
Yeah,
you know?
Of course. Like, it's violent and it's shocking, yeah.
And yeah, like kind of like through, like I think watching people die is just kind of generally bad for your nervous system.
100%.
I hadn't done it in a while.
Yeah,
funny thing to say.
Me neither. I've stopped doing that.
Yeah, and I watched it from like a couple angles, you know,
again and again and again. I know it was kind of impossible.
I actually had to put it down after the first time I saw it. I was like, did I want to see that? Like, actually, it was like, I think it might be this generation's Bud Dwyer.
Oh, 100%. Yeah. And if you talk about sympathy, like I have sympathy for people who had to see that.
Who were there.
I had sympathy for people
who were
there.
For his family who were there. You know,
sure,
like that's upsetting.
That's extremely
fucked up. It was upsetting
fucked up.
for me here in Toronto, like when I got home from work and like looked it up because I saw it on the news on my walk home and I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah. It's an awful violent act you have to witness that is very upsetting and triggering for people.
And also possibly the most ironic death.
Fuck him. I mean, seriously, fuck him.
Like,
rest in piss.
You know, if you're on the record saying that, like, you know, some gun deaths are a necessary evil to have the Second Amendment, the right to bear arms in the United States.
Yeah.
You know, would he have condemned his own gun assassination? I guess not, right? So, like, you can't. I don't know.
All that. Really, the only thing that matters is that he's being embraced by Jesus in the kingdom of heaven. and if you're doubting that, there are many AI assisted videos on Twitter to show you.
Yeah, true.
He is being welcomed into the arms of the Lord.
He's playing basketball with Kobe.
Yeah. Yeah. They're both in heaven. Yeah, I hated that man. I hated everything he said and stood for, and I'm glad that he's dead. I think the world is a better place without him. Do I think he should have been assassinated in front of a bunch of people and his family? No, I don't think so. I think in a just world, in my world where we take over, we would put him in prison. Yeah, he would be in prison for his words. He wouldn't be murdered for them. I don't believe in the death penalty. I don't believe that murder necessarily solves things, although maybe in some cases. But in this case, this is just stupid. Why would you assassinate Charlie Kirk? So many more important people you could have assassinated.
More important people to assassinate, and I do worry that this is just going to make him a martyr, and it's a good excuse to up security measures even further.
Yeah, getting
quote unquote security measures.
Quote unquote, yeah, trying to get everybody who even made a glib joke about it fired from their jobs. You know. So this leads me to another part of the story, which I think is quite funny. So yeah, all that is to say, rest in piss, Charlie Kirk, bad man, one of the probably worst, most hypocritical Christians I think I've ever seen. Mm-hmm. You know, not that I am some authority on Christianity or God or anything.
Yeah.
But truly a hateful, bigoted man who made millions of dollars, and I do mean like millions and millions of dollars.
Being a mouthpiece to just vile
thoughts and violent thoughts.
Pro-life.
Yeah, absolute ghoul. Like
one of those pro-life
ghoul.
people who's super pro-gun too. Weird dichotomy.
Yeah, and a racist and occasionally, although he was often criticized from people further on the right, like Nick Fuentes and whoever else, like actual out and proud white nationalists, he was starting to get into this like great replacement theory stuff and just an absolute right-wing ghoul who we are better without. But
thoughts and prayers to his wife and children.
Yeah, that's the bare minimum amount of thoughts and prayers to them. Okay, so did I make a glib joke about it online? Yes, I did. But it was so mild. It was so mild, especially relative to all the people who are like, how TikTok, like, I know we're old, right? And TikTok is like foreign to us to some extent. I mean, I know you like your reels, but I never will understand that one of the forms of communication in this age is people doing little dances on TikTok to like with the text saying something like really awful about their lives or really traumatic.
Really?
I'll never understand that.
I haven't come across that.
Oh, it's the whole genre. It's like some like somebody talking about how their husband like cheated on them with their sister, and they're doing a little dance where it's like da, 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 and it's like, he left me for my sister.
Oh my God.
He he said my kids were ugly, and I don't know, just whatever.
People are broken.
So people are doing their little dances and being like, I'm glad he got shot in the neck, and it's like okay, like there's probably a better way to communicate this.
Yeah.
So I didn't do anything like that.
You didn't do a little TikTok dance?
I didn't do a little TikTok dance. I didn't do a video where I was dancing on his grave. No, I said, the talk of TIFF has shifted from films and celebrities to the shooting of Charlie Kirk. Everyone I talked to agrees it couldn't have happened to a nicer guy. Very mild.
Sure.
Very mild. Stupid, sure. Unnecessary, perhaps.
Some people might even miss the sarcasm.
Well, not one person.
Okay.
There was one person, and because, I don't have any followers who give a shit. And if I'm being honest, everybody I talked to at TIFF was like, oh my God, this is fucking crazy. Also, I fucking hate that guy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, so somebody commented on it. I don't know. It's a public place. Some people are name searching Charlie Kirk, I'm sure. So some guy, his name was like Deadline 1987 or something. Okay. He's an airplane mechanic, machinist, and pilot in Windsor, Ontario. Cool. He is not an American man. He is a guy who's a few years older than us. Presumably 1987 is the year he was born.
Yeah.
And
probably goes to Detroit a lot.
Yeah, maybe he goes to Detroit a lot. Sure. That's a good point. He lives in Windsor. And he patrols the skies for any sign of somebody being callous about Charlie Kirk's death. So he commented like, what a vile thing to say. Wow. Like he's got a wife and 2 young children. And I saw that and I'm like, okay, well, I'm not going to engage with that.
Smart.
I don't care. Then the next day, some people liked the post and somebody made fun of this guy's thing and he commented again. And then he commented again because I guess he got caught up in this idea that everyone who's criticizing Charlie Kirk or making light of the fact that he was killed is going to get their job called and you're going to get canceled and you're going to get fired from your job. And this is the consequence, right? He got caught up in that, and a lot of people in the States have been fired. If we're to believe the news and also all these right-wing accounts on Twitter, they're firing tons of people because of this, which is crazy because it's like he's not a politician. He's not like a head of state.
He's an influencer.
Yeah, he's a fucking podcaster. Yeah. Who gives a shit? Like, and that's the other funny thing too is that all of these liberals too, some of whom have extremely tenuous connection to Charlie Kirk, are like having to put out these like somber statements where they're like, we may not have agreed on everything, but Charlie Kirk was a good man, an effective communicator, a leader, a thought leader, blah, blah, blah. It's like, fuck you. You don't have to say that. That's bullshit. Like, okay, Mark Carney has to do it because he's prime minister. Okay, whatever. That's stupid.
Some like low ranking or I don't know, just any kind of media figure doesn't have to like weigh in one way or the other.
It was Wab Kinew, who's the premier of Manitoba, right? Put out a video where he's like, we must condemn blah, blah, blah. It's like, okay, but you're the premier of Manitoba. This has nothing to do with you.
You don't have to say anything.
Yeah. And then all these like Steak Shack is like, this was a horrible act of, it's like, okay. Like, why is everybody talking like this? It's driving me crazy. And then, okay, I'll finish the story in a second. I'm sorry. This whole thing has just kind of rotted my brain the past few days. All of these right-wing accounts, all of these right-wing media figures, all Nancy Mace or Laura Loomer, Ben Shapiro, all these fucking ghouls, right? Candace Owens, whoever, right? A lot of them knew Charlie Kirk. He was their friend, okay? I understand why they're angry, right? On some sort of personal level. I understand it. But it's so funny to see them all just like extend this grift. Do you know what I mean? Like they've created this life for themselves where they can't just be earnest about a thing. They have to combine that with the social media grift that makes them who they are. That like is the reason why they got elected or the reason that they have a platform. So every post about him is simultaneously like half something personal that they have to get off their chest and half a subscribe to my Substack, subscribe to my podcast. And it's just kind of gross. And he would have done the exact same thing. And the other thing is that all of these conservatives who are like free speech is essential, now they are getting so triggered by people making fun of somebody that they don't like getting killed, right? And I'm not saying it's good or bad or whatever. I'm just saying it's funny and it's ironic.
That's the big, hypocritical part of it all. I mean, it's the life we subscribe to, Ben. You know, like if you ever perish, like I'm gonna exploit this for pod fame in a big way. Of
course, you'd have to. And I
especially
want
if you perished violently.
Well, and it's an inevitability. and I will. I just want to put it on record that I think that that's okay. I give you the keys to the kingdom.
Thank you.
You have to make this more successful. Yeah. Anyway, now that they've caught the guy, allegedly, and he doesn't appear to be like a purple-haired like trans barista, leftist, like like they were all fantasizing about.
He's
they
Mormon,
were like,
though, right?
Yeah, he's a Mormon guy, and it's people are saying he's a groyper. People are saying he's a conservative. People are saying he's a leftist. People are saying he went to one semester of college, and the leftist Marxist critical thinking ruined his brain and made him into like a gun-toting like reactionary or revolutionary, whatever. Nobody knows anything yet, right? Do you see the messages on his bullets? Yep. They're all fucking memes. Like he's a gamer.
He's a troll.
The only thing we know is he's a gamer.
Yeah, possibly a franchisee. We
haven't done our due diligence yet. We haven't actually checked if he was a fan of the podcast. We can only presume he was. And again, when we found out Thomas Matthew Crooks had listened to our show, that's a name you don't hear much these days. Although actually more in the past few days. We do want to say you shouldn't take things we say on this podcast seriously.
Never. Just a huge audience contingent of internet trolls and memers. Yeah.
I know.
What can you do about it?
Honestly, nothing. I mean, one of the saddest thing I saw the entire day in regards to the shooter, Tyler Robinson, the somewhat generically named Tyler Robinson, was a picture from his mom's Facebook of him. This was like in 2013 when he was like a kid, right? And it's a picture of him with a bunch, like on a computer with like some new computer equipment, and the post is from his mom on Facebook being like, now Tyler can fully ignore us with all the new computer stuff we got him. And it's like, no, get off the computer, no, but also like, whatever, man. Yeah, I don't give a fuck. I don't care. Okay, very quickly, because we're barely going to talk about the dissent, and I apologize. This is just something. It's been on my mind, and whatever. Who cares? You don't give a shit about the dissent. Nobody cares about the movies. All right, what's important? This guy then on this guy who was trying to get me fired. He obviously looked through my profile and deduced. Because he's got a big brain, right? We could tell. He deduced I work for Canada Post. Okay. So he said, I wonder. He commented again, like almost a full day after he commented the first time, because he couldn't let it go.
Came back for seconds.
I did not engage with him. He came back and he said, I wonder what Canada Post would think about this vile comment.
Okay, I see.
And I thought, okay, I have to now, because this is funny. Because now it's funny. Before it was like, okay, you're calling me out for being callous. Like, maybe you're right. I'm like, all right, I don't have anything to say to that. So now he's saying, I'm going to get you fired from Canada Post. So I responded to him, and this was a crucial error on my part. I responded to him and said, I'm curious too. I think you should contact them. And then he said something like, all these things are deleted now. He said something like after thinking about it, obviously realizing I don't work there, he's like, yeah, you're probably on disability. You probably don't have a job and this and this. And he was doing what they do on Twitter, what they call making up a guy to get mad at. Okay. So then I posted under that, the making a guy to get mad at meme. Or they're not the old tweet, And then he just kept commenting. And then another account run by the same guy. This guy's very few followers, right? Then his other account has like 0 followers. The only people he follows are like Steven Crowder and like some account called the Pleb Trucker or something that like retweets like Canadians who are leftists online and tries to get them fired. So this other account, which is called something like Canada Defender, I don't know, some with like a Captain America shield with the maple leaf on it. Okay. This is fucking pathetic, right? Like he started tweeting like, louder with Crowder, we have the sickness in Canada. We have to hold Ben Turnbull accountable. Fart and Fink is spreading lies. He was like, Fart and Fink is speaking for the entire TIFF organization, saying that everybody hates Charlie Kirk and laughs at his children. And then he just
Fink.
Yeah. And then he did it again with like pleb trucker. This is disgusting. And then he went back and found a post where I said, if any God's lonely man types are looking to kill someone, listen to the franchisees and we'll give you a list of targets.
No way.
He found that tweet and was like, I can't believe it. Look at the date on this tweet. Oh my God. He's cracked the case. He's like, I'm making all of these connections.
Oh my God.
It was like a Conor O'Malley thing, right?
Do you think he listened to the pod?
Oh, the story continues, Alex.
If we get a fucking
the story
1-star rating because of this guy,
who cares? It's fucking funny.
I'm gonna be peeved.
No. This is great. This is like only a net positive for us. Okay. So then at this point, like he kept commenting, right? And I was like, all right, I can't engage anymore, right? So I blocked both of those accounts, and I'm like, I got to go to work now. Like I'm not doing this, right? Okay. Later on in the evening, he creates a new account, and you can see created September 2025. The new account, the name of the account is cherubslayer123.
No way.
cherubslayer123, because he started posting pictures of me that I have posted online, and he started commenting on every single post I've made in the past month. So, and I took a video of this underneath all those promo videos for Cherub or other tweets or whatever. He said, "Fuck you, Ben. Fuck you, Ben. Ben is a psychopath. Ben has hate in his heart. I don't know, whatever. Just bullshit." And then under one of the posts about the podcast, he listened to the show.
No way.
He listened to the show because he said like, listen to this episode, 8 minutes talking about sucking dick, real classy.
It's probably like Toy Story 2 too.
Yeah. And he was like, I don't know, he said some other shit. So he just keeps going and going, right? And he's like, why would you block me and still talk shit and blah, blah, blah. And he made a lot of posts. And even somebody else, one of my other followers noticed and commented on this, like, you're being really creepy. This is weird, right? So eventually I responded to one of those posts because he posted, he probably made like 20 or 30 posts, all directed at me, all commenting under me. It's clearly like he made this account to harass me, right?
Sure, yeah.
So I commented on one of his posts and I said, because he said, and good for you for deleting that original tweet, which I didn't do, right? So I said, I did not delete the tweet. And he was like, why did you block me? Like, be a man, right? And I said, I blocked you because you're being psychotic and you're having a meltdown. Like, right? And I showed him, like, look at all these. Like, you're having a meltdown. I said, now you've created an account called cherubslayer123. Take a step back. Think about what you're doing. You're an adult man. Act like one. And he deleted the account. So I don't know if he deleted it right away after that, or if somebody reported it, because it was clearly like, like an account made to harass somebody. But he deleted it, and his other two accounts went on private and both blocked me. Like, I had blocked them already, but they blocked me back. And now it's over, as far as I know. But I just want to put this out there. If you're listening to this episode, and maybe we should put the Descent / Charlie Kirk in it just to tempt you.
Sure.
I'm going to.
/ Cherub Slayer.
Cherub Slayer123. If you're listening to this, Cherub Slayer123 / Ontario, Defend Ontario, whatever, /
come on the pod.
/ whatever. If you would like to come on the pod, because he is very much one of these, like, right wing but Canadian, which is way more pathetic in my opinion, debate bro guys. Because he kept being like, debate me. I'm like, this is the thing that they don't understand. Why would I debate you? I have nothing to say to you. You're a worm. You are below where the level of which I engage. There is nothing to talk to you about. You know what I mean?
He wants to talk about movies.
If you want to, okay, now I take it back. Because if you want to talk about movies, let's talk about movies. I don't care if you have the shittest taste in the world. I will talk about whatever your favorite movie is. If your favorite movie is like, what's a bad movie? Help me. What's a bad movie that like some mouth breather guy would like?
The Benchwarmers.
Okay, perfect. If your favorite movie is Rob Schneider's The Benchwarmers, he's in that, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Perfect. I will watch it. I've not seen it, but I will watch it, and we will talk about it.
Same.
And I tell you, for 2 hours, we'll talk about it.
Oh, yeah, we will.
Yeah.
We'll talk about sucking dick a lot, too, probably.
If you want to talk about, I will suck your dick. If you come on the podcast, I will suck your dick. I will suck it, and you'll come and I'll swallow it.
That's really like, big man of you, to extend the olive branch, invite him on, hash things out over the Benchwarmers and a little oral sex. That's really, that's the kind of attitude we promote on the franchise.
Exactly. We have an open door policy, and like the late great, and as Trump said, the great, even legendary Charlie Kirk. All I want to do is debate. Oh, that's the other thing too. Is people in their eulogies being like, he just wanted to debate. Mm-hmm. He got killed for his words. He just wanted to debate. He was the worst debater in the world. He never debated anybody in good faith. Mm-hmm. His whole platform was about, I will engage you in a good faith debate. And then every debate he had, he would just lie and straw man and bully people into not getting their point across. Mm-hmm. It was incredible. Okay, anyway, fuck that guy. We're not going to talk about him anymore. Maybe maybe in a few more episodes. I don't know. But the point is, cherubslayer123, come on the podcast.
We hope you like the show.
We hope you like the show.
I hope you're a franchisee now.
You're officially a franchisee, because if I rage baited you into listening to the podcast, that's a win for us, right?
That's true, yeah.
Yeah, we're shameless. Nobody listens to this. We need the listeners.
We kind of need you.
We need you to keep listening. If you're listening with hatred in your heart,
Cherub Slayer.
If you Cherub Slayer. Do you know what I mean? Because it's like almost threatening, but it's like, it's not like Benjamin Turnbull Killer 123 or something.
No. It's Cherub. That's the best. It's Harvey.
It's Cherub, which is the softest, kindest movie in the world.
He probably saw that too.
I wonder if he's seen it.
Probably watched it out in like a fit of rage.
That'd be really funny.
Fucking so empathetic.
He spent like an hour and a half watching it with his fist clenched the whole time. All right, moving on.
Yeah.
Wait, where are we at here?
33 minutes. That's
Should we just not talk about any movies and talk about The Descent?
Do a quick movie roundup?
Okay.
I don't have to take long.
What have you seen?
Okay, I have seen some movies since last we spoke in a crazy twist. I watched Robot Dreams. It's like a little animated movie about a dog and a robot.
Oh, sure.
It's like European. It's more for like adults. It's cute, but it's also quite melancholy and sad. Mm-hmm. But it was a fine little watch. Mm-hmm. I watched Life During Wartime, a sequel to one of my favorite movies, Happiness. Really different in tone and presentation. It feels like there's like a lot going on under the surface, and it's more meaningful. I really need to watch it again. It wasn't like a tough watch or anything, but it was just like quite different that I was not expecting. I was expecting something more similar in tone to Happiness, and this really wasn't that. So
still good though, right?
Yeah, he was trying to do something with it, but like I wasn't picking up what he was putting down. I think I just need to watch it again. It feels like it's a more like substantive movie.
Okay,
it's shorter. It's a curio. I'd actually be really curious what you thought about it. And then finally, I rewatched Casino.
Oh yeah,
I think Casino is a fun movie. I think my problem with Casino is that it kind of goes in one year and out the other. In a way, like Goodfellas kind of sticks, and I'm always like down to watch Goodfellas, whereas Casino, maybe it's a crapshoot whether or not I'm down to watch the whole thing, but it is like a good time while it's on. It's just there's just like a lot of like jargon and a lot of things happen, but I've never really like attached myself to Casino in that way. Yeah,
me neither. And I keep, every time I watch it, I try to like get to that point where, because a lot of people I know and respect think it's one of his best, if not his best movies, totally. Right? And I've never been able to feel about it that way, but maybe next time when I watch it, I'll be like, I'll try to be like, okay, this is about making movies. This is about Hollywood.
Yeah.
And that'll be my in, But maybe I don't know.
The trick.
Yeah, I've never been able to really get into it in the same way. Obviously, it's good, right? Yeah. But I don't know. All right, that's it, eh?
Yep.
All right, I'll be really quick. cherubslayer123. I'm coming for you. And he kept saying things like, I'm coming for you. He was like, one of my favorites was he said, "Oh, Benny, what are we going to do with you?"
Oh my God.
Like, oh, dude, what are you going to do with me? I'm not a plane. You can't fix me, right? Oh, by the way, if you're ever taking a private flight in Windsor, Ontario, I would not suggest it. I don't know. This guy was spending a lot of time getting angry at me and not enough time doing the safety check on the plane. Just saying.
Fair enough.
All right. Movies. Did I talk about Honey Don't last time I was...
That sounds...
I'm pretty sure I
think you
did.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's okay. All right. Shane, the classic Western. Come back, Shane. Come back, Shane. You're so sexy. Don't kill yourself. That's what he says. That's where that's from. I thought Shane was good.
That's good.
Yeah. I've been meaning to see it for a long time. I don't think it's funny because it has this reputation as like the greatest Western ever made that a lot of directors seem to hold up or whatever. And I don't think it is particularly that interesting, but it is very, very good.
That's good.
Broken Blossoms, D.W. Griffith. I'm going through that list, right?
Yeah.
Otherwise, I probably wouldn't be watching these. But honestly, it's a kind of a beautiful movie. It is also racist. Every time he tried to make a movie after being accused of being racist in Birth of a Nation, he ended up making a movie that was either racist or like not an apology. So
It's funny how that happens.
yeah, I don't know. Poor guy. He can't catch a break. Hold Me While I'm Naked, the George Kuchar movie, the short film. You should definitely watch that, Alex. Christine, Alan Clark, also like a mid-length movie. Pretty much the same thing as Elephant, except instead of going around shooting people, it's like a young girl who goes from house to house delivering heroin to people, to like children. Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah, it's cool. Yeah, cool.
What's it called? Christine? Like the car that kills people?
Like the car that kills people, yeah. The Scarlet Empress, the Joseph von Sternberg, Marlene Dietrich movie about Catherine the Great. This is one of the best movies I've seen in a long time.
Oh, cool.
Absolute 5 out of 5 masterpiece. Best, like, period piece costume drama I've seen in a long time. So beautiful. So funny and ahead of its time. And also, like, I think right on the cusp of, like, a pre-code thing because it's, like, very perverse and sexual and weird. And you watch something like Sofia Coppola's Marie Antoinette or Yorgos Lanthimos' The Favorite or something like that. And this is doing the exact same thing, but in the early 30s.
That's so cool.
Yeah, it's really good, and it's really funny. So I would definitely recommend that. And then in some TIFF prep, and we'll talk about TIFF in the Descent 2 episode because we'll probably have less to talk about. I've already talked too much about Charlie Kirk and very little about the Descent, which we will talk about very soon. I watched some Claire Denis movies because I saw her new movie, The Fence, and she was there, and it was really cool. So I watched 35 Shots of Rum, White Material, Bastards, The Intruder, and also Friday Night. So I went on a real Claire Denis kick.
She's made a lot of movies.
She's made a lot of movies, yeah. Of those, I would say my favorite was probably 35 Shots of Rum, which is just a really beautiful movie. People call it sort of like her tribute to Ozu. And I think maybe the story, parts of the story sort of come from Late Spring and other Ozu movies. But it's like absolute perfect. Everything I like about Claire Denis is in that movie.
Cool.
Including especially a great scene set to music, which she does so well, and a very, very like sensual film, even if it's about a sort of a different type of love than a romantic love. Yeah, really beautiful. White Material, I would say probably on the lower end. It's also sort of similar to how I felt about The Fence, but still interesting. The Intruder is like a very dense, maybe difficult to understand movie at first, so I'm gonna watch that again. But that movie is like stunning. That is a crazy movie. And I'm glad I didn't see it when I tried to watch it when I was younger, because I think I would have just found it completely inscrutable. So, and now I'm not that I understand it now, but I definitely have to go back to watch that. And then Bastards is like, Jeffrey Epstein didn't kill himself sort of stuff. It's Her Eyes Wide Shut.
No, cool.
No, it's not. Blah blah blah. Oh, blah blah blah. I saw LCD Sound System, so I watched that documentary finally. Shut Up and Play the Hits.
Right, yeah. How's that?
It's really funny now that they didn't break up.
I know.
Because he's wandering around, moping around his apartment, being like, am I making the right choice?
Yeah.
And it's like, well, no, I guess not, right?
5 years later, you came to that conclusion.
Yeah. New release, EEPHUS, the baseball movie, EEPHUS.
Okay, yeah.
I thought it was pretty good, actually. Yeah. I thought it was nice.
That's a fun name.
EEPHUS.
EEPHUS.
Another Alan Clark movie, Road, which I also thought was very good. Straub Houlet movie, Too Early, Too Late, which is a really beautiful kind of, I don't know, experimental film is such a stupid, such a misnomer. But, a non-narrative, unconventional film from two of the great French filmmakers, French filmmaking pair, whose films I watch and then immediately feel like, okay, I need to read about them because they're, again, like pretty dense, I think, and are all based on like texts and readings I have not read. So, but very beautiful movie. CLEARCUT. Graham Greene died, right? And I had been meaning to watch CLEARCUT for so long, and so I watched it the day after he passed away, and it's really good. If I'm recommending 3 movies from this bunch, 35 Shots of Rum, CLEARCUT with Graham Greene, one of the best performances I've seen in a long time. So intense, but funny and menacing, but also like with this sort of gleam in his eye where it's like, I don't know. He's perfect in that movie. I can't really say. I was about to say something that would have given away like a twist about it, so I'm not going to. And Scarlet Empress, which is awesome. And then the rest of these, oh my God, there's just so many. So I'll just stop. Okay, The Descent.
The Descent.
2005. Neil Marshall.
Great year, Neil. Shouts to Neil.
This was a big movie in my household. My mom loves this movie.
Oh, that's
scared
fun.
the shit out of her. She still talks about it, how scary it is. And I watched, because of this, and because of my love for this, I watched Dog Soldiers.
Yes, yeah, me too.
I watched Centurion.
Yep.
I watched Doomsday. For a while, I was like, I'm watching all these Neil Marshall movies. And this one is good.
Yeah.
Right? Dog Soldiers, I haven't seen in a long time.
I remember liking Dog Soldiers.
I remember liking it.
I had the exact same experience as
the other two, though, no.
Because this movie, it came out when we were, butt teens.
Butt teens?
Butt teens. And, real hungry for this kind of movie. Similar vibes almost to, 28 Days Later when we spoke about that. This was this cool new horror film from England with, a really neat poster and stuff that I'd see ads of in the newspaper with the replicating that picture with the women creating a skull or whatever.
Yes.
Some really cool imagery and effective ad campaign, and it was just it was just one of those movies you see as a teen where you're like, this is so gnarly. And then I remember loving it and going on the internet on Ice Films, DivX or whatever, and watching Dog Soldiers. And I remember Dog Soldiers. I looked up Centurion and Doomsday on Letterboxd and was like, oh, I've rated these. At some point, I vaguely remember putting on Centurion and watching it.
I rented it from Blockbuster.
I think it was on a streaming service at some point that I had access to, and I remember I must have stopped paying attention because I don't remember much of Centurion, and I really don't remember much of Doomsday.
No.
I remember Malcolm McDowell and cannibalism and stuff like that.
Yeah, somebody gets their head cut off.
But they just kind of evaporated from my memory, which kind of speaks to their quality. I don't know, but I guess Centurion, that got him the gig directing a few episodes of Game of Thrones, right?
Right, yeah.
Because they were oh, he can make battle scenes that
on the cheap
that look not on the cheap.
Sure.
So he did a couple of the big battle episodes of Game of Thrones. But yeah, I remember the fervor I had when The Descent came out, and I just think of Neil Marshall as kind of a disappointment, kind of in the same bucket as I think he's a better filmmaker. I think this guy, I think Ben Wheatley is a better filmmaker, but they're kind of similar to me. Whereas early on, Ben Wheatley, I was really stoked on. I was like, whoa, Kill List is crazy.
Yeah.
A Field in England is the fucking nuttiest movie I've ever seen since 2001: A Space Odyssey.
Yeah.
And then he just kind of makes stuff that I'm not super interested in.
The Meg 2. Yeah.
The Meg 2. Or even High Rise, I was kind of let down by.
Yeah, I saw that at TIFF when it came out.
I saw it at the Lightbox, not the festival.
So one or two things about Ben Wheatley. At the festival, It was a big like gala premiere at one of the big theaters, full house. All the stars were there. Jeremy Irons, even everybody was there. Ben Wheatley, Adam Naiman was introducing it. It was a whole thing, right? And I took some pictures, and then we're watching the movie, and you can feel the room getting restless because it's kind of a prickly, difficult movie, and it's long. I mean, maybe it's not long, but it feels long. And people around me started to leave.
Oh no!
I kind of liked it. I don't
think it's a bad movie.
But I remember exactly. Yeah, I know we'll talk about TIFF on the next episode, but my friend Gavin from Saskatoon, who's here with a short film that got into TIFF, he went to the director's dinner, and I was like, "Oh, did you meet anybody famous?" He's like, "Not really. Like, probably most of the famous directors are not coming to the free dinner, I guess." But he said Ben Wheatley was there.
Nice.
And they were talking, and Ben Wheatley was nice, and complaining about Jason Statham having to work with him in the Meg 2, and Gavin was talking about how it was like, little plates coming around, servers coming around, and you had to kind of pick, so you didn't really eat that much. And I was like, what about Ben Wheatley? He was eating, right? And he's like, oh yeah, he was eating a lot. He was like sucking crab legs, and yeah. So I like Ben Wheatley. I still
like Ben Wheatley too.
I haven't seen I haven't seen his movies that everybody hates. I didn't see his Rebecca, I didn't see Meg 2. I didn't see all this other crap.
Happy New Year, Colin Burstead.
Yeah. I'm more interested in something like that.
Me too. I wasn't crazy about Sightseers.
Yeah, it's okay. I still have a soft spot in my heart for him,
Me too.
And similarly, Neil Marshall a little bit. Like, I did not see his Hellboy movie.
Me neither.
I don't care about that.
No.
I'm not going to.
We'll eventually watch him when we do Hellboy.
It's inevitable.
It's an inevitability.
It's an inevitability.
I have a softer spot in my heart for Ben Wheatley.
Of course.
My heart's hardened a bit to Neil Marshall.
Well, yeah. I mean, really, there's two movies, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And but to get back to The Descent.
But what a movie!
This is a great movie.
What a picture!
What a picture! Yeah. It's a really good movie, and
it's a fun time.
I watched it yesterday. I watched both of them yesterday. The Descent and The Descent Part 2. You
had your own little descent?
Yeah, I descended. And when I was watching The Descent, I was like, all right, I've seen this a bunch of times. Not since at least like 2011 or something. But I remember I'd seen it a couple times. And I wasn't really on edge because I knew all the stuff. I know the car is going to crash at the beginning. I know when they first see the crawler. I know when they fall and break their leg or whatever. But there were one or two moments where I actually got a little jump scare. Like in the early morning yesterday, not dark outside, sunlight pouring through the window. There were one or two moments where I was like, ah!
There's a really good one that I'd completely forgotten about when she's like kind of recovering from the car accident, is like longing, or she's in the cabin maybe at that point, and she's like longingly looking out a window. And then the pipe that killed her husband like comes through this cabin window. That was one of them. Yeah. I was like, ah.
I know, it's good.
Like good jump scares, like really like out of nowhere, but like geographically, I guess, make a bit more sense in the context.
Yeah,
like, that was a dream,
and thematically too. Yeah. Like that's not a jump scare just for jump scare's sake, right?
No,
like,
for sure.
Yeah.
I really love the kind of anticlimactic kind of first shot, the first view of a crawler that you see. I love when they just like, it's like kind of further away in the distance, and you're just like, similar to the characters, you're like, what is that thing?
Like, that is always like the shot I think about when I think about this movie, because she's like peering at it, can't really see, she's squinting her eyes, and it's just in flashlight, and you just see this like white shape. And then when it moves, you're like, it looks like a man, right? Yeah, that's always really freaky.
It's a great moment. Like, I think to give it like kind of high praise, it reminds me of kind of like the reveal of like Leatherface in the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, where he just kind of like pops out, knocks the guy in the head, drags him, closes the door. Like it's really like there's no like build up, it just kind of happens.
Yeah, you're like, what the fuck is
what
that?
What did I just watch? And I think that's I mean, to compare anything to the original Texas Chainsaw Massacre, I think it's it's high praise.
Yeah, I agree. I don't think this is like at that level.
No, but that shot is.
But yeah,
amazing.
there are moments in this, absolutely. Yeah. The first time you see the full thing, like when they're doing the camcorder and it's like right behind the lady, like that's very scary. And then that attack is so fast and so like vicious and everything, and they're ripping throats out and everything. It's scary and it's violent too. I know that this is maybe something you see in a lot of like Letterboxd reviews, but people love to point out like the movie is scary enough before the crawlers show up.
Yeah, like, it's claustrophobic.
It's extremely claustrophobic. Spelunking is fucking stupid.
Yeah.
Like,
no, thank you.
Yeah, not interested.
In Appalachia.
Yeah, well, I always forget because I'm like, oh, this is a British movie. They're in Britain,
Scotland.
Yeah. I guess I understand the appeal, but oh, geez, I don't know. I don't like that. I don't want to do that.
Me neither. Cave jumping, spelunking, base jumping, all that stuff. Not for me, really.
I don't think so.
There's creepy crawlies in there. There's humanoid Appalachian men.
Yeah, well, I guess the sort of assumption is that because they find the cave paintings and everything.
This is a type of human that evolved to.
Yeah, that it's like a cave person or like Neanderthal or something that
stayed in caves.
Stayed in the caves, yeah, and became blind and hunts with sound and smell, but really more sound because. Well, we'll get into that, and especially in the second one, they take advantage of they can't see you. We have to be quiet. But like, if they presumably have a good sense of smell as well, you're standing right next to them.
And caves are so echoey. Like even their sound should be like easier to hear.
Well, every little movement they do, right? Yeah. Whatever.
Suspend your disbelief.
Well, yeah, of course. And in this first one, it works really well.
Yeah.
The things that are so scary about this movie. I think it sets up the like trauma angle very, very efficiently and doesn't really dwell on it too much. Like this woman has been through probably the worst thing that's ever happened to her or ever will happen to her. And then it turns out it's actually not the worst thing that will ever happen to her. They actually say that in the dialogue too, where they're like, when she's struggling to get through this tight spot in a cave, her friend is like coaching her through it. And she's like, we know like that's the worst thing that's ever happened to you. And it's so awful, but you have to like push through right now. And like, well, it's about to get a lot worse.
A lot worse.
And I think the group of friends feels relatively realistic. I mean, I know, not like my group of friends.
No, they're thrill seekers.
They're thrill seekers,
It's a fun conceit, right?
Yeah,
like
it
this
is.
Group of women. It's pretty believable, A group of women who are like, let's go out in nature. You foresee them whitewater rafting.
Yeah.
You believe that they would like all go spelunking together. They're mountain equipment co-op ladies.
Yes. Yeah, exactly. And they don't spend too much time on like setting everything up, like whatever. But like a lot of good horror movies, you do actually like care about them to some extent, without like bogging it down with too much like exposition or like character details or whatever, because ultimately they're going to get torn apart, right? But you care just enough, and I think the performances are all very realistic, like. And I think part of that is that they didn't film in an actual cave. They filmed in like Pinewood Studios or whatever. The sets are really good because it feels super convincing, but it must have just been a terrifying like movie to make because there's one of the kind of famous like IMDb trivia facts or whatever is that they hid the design of the crawlers from them until that first scene. So, some of the actresses talking, they're like, I was genuinely really scared because it's creepy and it's dark and we're running around screaming. And part of me is like, oh my God, so he did a really good job with that because you genuinely feel like as distressed as the characters do, even before they show up. Like, and then it's literally like 52 minutes into the movie, right? Yeah. Into the hour and a half movie.
Yeah. It's good creature design, good sense of like atmosphere, contained spaces. I was wincing before the madness kind of ensues. A character falls and like breaks her leg.
Oh yeah.
And it's like really like upsetting good practical effect of
big like compound fracture, like
and they're trying to set it back in place, like it's it's queasy but like in a fun way.
Of course.
And you do get a bit of yeah, like you said, not too much, not too heavy-handed with backstory and anything, but you get a bit of like interpersonal drama between some of these ladies, you know, a bit of like cat fighting over the main character's like husband.
Yeah.
A bit of juicy betrayal.
Yeah, the Juno character has had an affair with the husband and received like a gift from him, like the necklace. And that's another moment that really bugged me when I first saw it too, was when the Juno's getting attacked and she swings the axe around or whatever and kills her friend, right?
Yes.
And then lies about it.
Juno doesn't deserve to die just because she's a cheater. She also kills her friend and lies about it.
Yes.
So she doubly deserves to die.
Yes. And it's really not her fault. I'm sure she could have explained it away, but she doesn't. And and the main character, you know, who's been sort of having these visions of her daughter and a birthday cake and everything, like she wounds Juno and leaves her for dead, and presumably she gets killed. Or does she? Listen to the next episode. And then we have the famous ending of the movie, which American audiences, I guess, didn't like, and they changed it to a happier ending, somewhat happier, where she gets away, right? But in the original ending, she climbs out of the cave.
Which is a beautiful shot, too, when she's like climbing up that like...
Yeah, and like her hand reaching out, and
but it's just like it's like lit by like one sliver of light, and you just see her scrambling up like an incline of bones. It's good stuff.
The Bone Temple.
Coming soon.
Yeah, and she gets out, and she finds a trucker guy, and she finds a truck, right?
She just finds her car, doesn't she?
Yeah, it's her car. I'm thinking about something. Oh no, I'm thinking about the second movie. Sorry, I watched them right after. And she's driving away, and then she has a vision of like Juno, and then she wakes up back in the cave.
Yeah.
And she sees her daughter giving her the birthday cake, and she's singing happy birthday or whatever.
Yeah.
And she's in the cave, and the pulls out, and she's in this like impossible like alcove, like, and you hear the crawlers all creeping towards
and she's
her.
Alone. Yeah.
Yeah. And it's a great like downer creepy ending, you know?
It's a great ending. Was disappointed. This movie was on Amazon, and I watched it there because I have access to it. And American ending on Amazon. Yeah,
how was that?
I've seen the UK ending before. Like I know the original ending, which I think is far superior. But yeah, it cuts when she sees the vision of like Juno bleeding in her car. Yeah, it just ends on that. It's kind of a I don't like it as much.
No, it's not nearly as good. Yeah. So you may think, how would they make a sequel to this? Is it a whole new group of people?
Which might have been the better way to do it.
Possibly, but we'll get into that next episode.
Yeah. How many in a colony of 100 crawlers, subterranean Appalachian mountain men crawlers? I guess there's women there too.
It's true. Yes, that's right. Yep. The women have long hair.
How many out of 100 would you give this movie?
Very comfortably an 80.
Yeah, same.
Yeah.
When I was younger, I would have possibly even given it like 90.
Sure. I think this is a really good horror movie. I think it's one of the best horror movies of the 2000s, for sure.
Absolutely would agree with that.
Yeah.
It was big for me then, and it's great. It's great when you see a movie that was big for you then. Yeah. And it still holds up.
Oh, yeah.
Really well. You know?
I think it's really good. And it's sort of in an interesting place because when you think about 2000s horror, you know, you think about torture porn. You think about New French Extremity, maybe. I don't know what else was big. There's all sorts of things it could sort of fit into. I think this is a very refreshing movie because it isn't torture porn, and it isn't, something like Hostel, which is sort of, which I think is kind of a good movie. Actually,
I like
the
Hostel.
first one.
I do.
But it's kind of perfect because it's not really about anything else. It's like very simple. And, is it about trauma? Maybe a little bit, but it just is kind of, it's just kind of a very simple roller coaster ride type movie that is very like effective and grimy and creepy and genuinely scary. The kind of horror movie that really doesn't get made a lot these days, where it's just like there's a bunch of women in a cave and there are monsters that attack them. Like, it's very simple, right?
Yeah.
There's actually an American movie called The Cave that also came out in 2005 that I've never seen. That is about a people who go in a cave and there's a monster in a cave. But that monster's like some sort of beast or whatever. This sort of like humanoid monster, like a whole like, you know, underground like clan of humanoid monsters is way creepier than something like that.
For sure.
Not that I've ever seen The Cave. Who knows? Maybe it's great.
He ran into that problem a couple of times, Neil Marshall. He had this one up against The Cave. Centurion went up against The Eagle.
Right.
Remember The Eagle?
Yeah, with Channing Tatum.
Bad run of luck Neil Marshall had.
Well, maybe he'll come back. Who knows?
It would be cool. I would love to, you know, rah cheerlead for Neil Marshall again. He just drops like a horror masterpiece.
Maybe. Yeah. It's a long life, you know?
True.
Well, not for everybody.
No.
Yeah.
Anyway. Well, we'll see you next week for The Descent Part 2.
The Descent Part 2, yeah. And
even deeper.
Yeah, if you don't want to watch that and aren't going to listen to it, let me tempt you here. We're also going to be covering the Toronto International Film Festival.
That's true.
Wah, 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 wah.
It'll definitely be worth listening to because of that.
Yeah, at least the first half.
You know, well, like, I guess play along, you know, for the next little while. We're going to be doing a fun little we got some surprises for you.
Can we tell them what we're doing?
I don't know. Like, how do we present it?
Well, I think we can just tell them. We're doing in October?
Maybe we don't tell them what they are, but we're letting them know that we're doing a series of...
Can't we just tell them what they are?
I guess you can, yeah.
Or is it better that it's a secret?
I don't know.
Who cares?
Yeah.
Let's just tell them.
Okay.
All right. In October, instead of one horror franchise, we're going to do 3 2-film franchises.
Twofers.
3 twofers. And I guess the sort of loose idea is that the first one will be something of a horror classic, although in the case of one of them, maybe not a classic, but an important horror film. Mm-hmm. And then the sequel, not so much. So that's The Descent 1 and 2. Mm-hmm. That's Interview with the Vampire and Queen of the Damned. Mm-hmm. And then An American Werewolf in London, followed by An American Werewolf in Paris.
Can't wait.
Yes. I've seen all these movies except The Descent 2 and Queen of the Damned. So I'm excited to revisit the ones I've seen, and I'm excited to see those ones. And in particular, I'm excited to revisit An American Werewolf in Paris, which is really bad.
I remember like seeing that as a kid.
Yeah, I've got a funny story about renting that with some friends as a kid. Yeah. Ugh. To be young again.
Anyway, listen, play along. The Descent, good movie. You should watch it if you haven't already.
Yeah.
100% enjoy it. The Descent Part 2. Watch it anyway.
Yeah, just watch it. Just watch it. Just watch it for us.
Watch it.
Watch it for your pals Ben and Alex.
And then we'll talk to you about it next week.
Okay, goodbye. Until then.
Enter the world of forensic science, the science of crime, where a suspect's guilt or innocence can hang on a single piece of evidence.
Natural to dream. I've been having some bad ones, and I gotta know what they mean. Something wicked in the air. Shirts piled on a chair. Shirts piled on.
What you're about to see was one of the most complex homicide cases ever documented in Toronto. There was no eyewitness, no murder weapon, and only a mountain of circumstantial evidence that would have to be ferreted out, analyzed, and assembled. As to our Exhibit A, if I showed you, it would give it away.